Hey, welcome to another video from Skinny Medic. In this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 items you should be keeping in your vehicle as far as medical related items. Doesn't matter if you're driving a cool sports car, you're driving an old Jeep, or pickup truck. You never know when you're going to be the first responder, so having a good first aid kit is going to be important. So one of the first things I think you should have is at least one pair of gloves, probably two pair of gloves. Like these bear claw gloves are super thick and they're nice. They come up to your elbows. I've had problems putting these on when I'm in a hurry. I had a call where a guy was really injured and I thought it was going to be super cool and tactical and put these gloves on in a hurry. It was the middle of the summertime in the middle of the roadway and I could not get these gloves on, being honest with you. But I do like them because they're super thick and things like that. But I do like them overall because they provide a lot of protection. But just some simple gloves. I like these Dynarex style gloves. That's why we sell them at Medical Gear Outfitters, because they're not super thin where they're going to tear. I mean, they still can tear on you, but they're not super thick that you can't put them on either. So it's a good happy medium mill glove here that you can put on and have some BSI protection for you. The next thing I think you should have is some sort of light. Now, a good pocket light is awesome. You guys should be carrying this for your EDC. But even a simple chem light, because what's going to happen when I go to work on my hands, I've got my gloves on, and nasty stuff goes in my mouth. So having a chem light that you can pop, hang inside of a car, make some light, just a little bit of light makes a big difference, especially when it's super dark outside. But some sort of light, chem light, things like that, just drop in your kit is fantastic. So the next two items kind of go together, but we're going to send them one at a time. Is a seatbelt cutter. You never know if you're trapped inside of a car, can't get the seatbelt off, or if you have some body you just cannot physically get to the seatbelt, then a seatbelt cutter is fantastic. And then while we're thinking about patient access is a window punch. I like a spring-loaded window punch. This goes into the corner of the window. Just watch your eyes, watch your hand, press against it, it pops. To me, these take less force than the ones that just have like a little sharp tip on the end of a knife or a hammer that you have to hit the side of the window with. But these are a little bit safer, I feel like, because you're not going to push your hand through as likely. Still be careful. Side windows, things like that, is push and then it'll bust. With a hammer, stuff like that, you're liable to drive your hand through and that can cause yourself to get injured. So we're talking about patient access, seatbelt cutter, and window punch. Other thing let's talk about is a pair of trauma shears. There again, we have a patient we rolled up onto a vehicle, things like that. We need to see where they're injured. So a good pair of trauma shears like these X shears would make a great addition to your kit. Tape. Now this has tons of uses. Whether you're driving an old TJ and the radiator pops and you gotta fix it on the side of the road, happens, ask me how I know. But tape like this, fantastic, can get you home from a busted radiator hose. So tape is fantastic. Never know. Plenty of uses for this, whether you're trying to seal something up, trying to make a splint, but tons of uses for duct tape. You guys know it. I would throw this in your kit. Obviously, if we're thinking some kind of emergency situation where we pulled on the side of the road, someone is life-threatening injuries, dying, and we made a decision to pull over, having some gauze, like combat gauze, Celox is going to be important to stop that major bleeding. So having some good hemostatic agent gauze and knowing how to wound pack, how to use it is key. But we're talking about major bleeding. We can bleed out within 3 minutes of a major bleed, and the first responders haven't even put the truck in drive yet, and our patient, our loved one, our family member, whoever is bleeding to death. So keeping the red stuff on the inside is super important. That's why I'm going to put combat gauze in my kit. I like the Elias bandage. A good pressure bandage, man, I can do a lot of stuff with this. I can make a splint, I can make a wrap, I can make a pressure bandage. I can do a lot of stuff with an Elias pressure bandage. I like this one because it's a 4-inch flat, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. When you open it up, there's more gauze inside here. So we just talked about combat gauze. I would start wound packing with that. If I still need to fill the void up, then I have more gauze inside here that I can open up and fill that void. There's also a little piece of plastic here just in case someone has a sucking chest wound. You can make an improvised one. But I like the Elias bandage. It's multiple uses for one bandage. We're going into wintertime right now, so a good blizzard blanket, a good Mylar blanket, even a wool blanket is going to do phenomenal. It's easier to prevent hypothermia than it is to correct it, especially pre-hospital. So a nice warm blanket. You never know when your son's 91 MR2 is going to crack out, so he might get a little chilly. So having a blanket inside there is important to have. All right, number 10, last one. I bet you guys have already commented something I forgot. You're like, Dietrich, you forgot a tourniquet. I was just messing with you guys, right? So number 10, last thing, is a tourniquet. There again, we know that life-threatening hemorrhage, you can bleed out super fast. And if someone legit needs a tourniquet, they're not gonna have time for first responders to get there to put a tourniquet on. So if it's a true life-threatening, oh my gosh, they're bleeding everywhere, all the blood's gonna be bled out by the time the first responders get there. So having at least one tourniquet in your kit, probably two, honestly. Tourniquets in your kit is a must-have, and have it somewhere where you can grab super quick. Don't have it buried down the bottom, just have it somewhere quick, you can snatch it and go. So that's my top 10 items that you should have in a first aid kit. We talked about gloves, we talked about the window punch, the seatbelt cutter, we talked about a good pair of trauma shears, we talked about combat gauze, a lice bandage, we talked about a flashlight, we talked about the space blanket, Mylar blanket, and then obviously a tourniquet. So if you could expand this list out, let me know down below what you think I should add to this kit, what I forgot to mention. Thank you guys for watching. You never know when you'll be the first responder. Remember, you need the right gear, and obviously you need the right training.